You know, people, they're funny, real funny. You give them everything, time, trust, pieces of yourself, and what do? They laugh, they take, they spit in your face, and you just sit there, waiting, hoping that maybe, just maybe, they'll see you, really see you. But they don't. And that's the joke, isn't it? You become their clown, their punching bag, their charity case. And you let them. Oh, you let them because you think if you just hold on a little longer, if you just endure, they'll finally wake up. They'll see the value in you. But let me tell you, sunshine, they won't. They never do. Not until you're gone. Gone. That's when it hits them. That's when they finally start to feel it. The weight, the emptiness, the hole you left behind. But by then, it's too late. You know what's funny? People never really see the worth of something until it's out of their reach. It's like a game to them. They're blind to the light until it flickers and dies. And only then do they sit in the dark, begging for the glow they ignored. That's people for you. Ungrateful parasites, feeding on your time, your love, your loyalty, until there's nothing left of you but scraps. And even then, they still want more. You're sitting there, drowning in your own doubt, aren't you? Wondering if walking away is the right thing to do. Let me guess. They've got you thinking you're the problem. That you're the one who's too sensitive, too demanding, too much. They've convinced you to doubt your own reflection, haven't they? You wake up every day, staring at that face in the mirror, wondering if maybe, just maybe, you're as broken as they say you are. Well, let me break it down for you, kid. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not the villain in their little sob story. You're the one who gave them chances they didn't deserve. You're the one who stayed when you should have left. You're the one who cared when they didn't even notice you were bleeding out. You gave them everything, and they gave you crumbs in return. But you know what the real joke is? They'll only realize it when you're gone. Here's the harsh truth, and I hope it stings, because it should. Some people don't value you because they don't have the capacity to. They take you for granted because they think you'll always be there. Like some unshakable monument. But monuments crumble, kid. And when you finally collapse, they'll be left standing in the ruins, realizing too late that they should have been building you up instead of tearing you down. You think they care? Oh, they'll pretend they do. They'll throw you a bone every now and then, just enough to keep you hanging on. A sweet word here, a half-hearted apology there. But it's all part of their little game. They don't care about you. They care about what you do for them. You're a tool to them, a means to an end. And the moment you stop serving their needs, they'll toss you aside like yesterday's trash. So here's what you do. You walk away. Not quietly, not timidly. No, you walk away with your head held high, with fire in your eyes and steel in your spine. You let them watch as you pick yourself up, piece by piece, and rebuild without them. And when they come crawling back, and trust me, they will crawl, you don't give them the satisfaction of your attention. You let them sit in the mess they created. Let them feel the emptiness they tried to shove onto you. It's going to hurt. Oh, it's going to hurt like hell. You'll feel the sting of every unspoken word, every wasted effort, every moment you spent trying to fix something that was never yours to fix. You'll doubt yourself. You'll cry. You'll want to go back, but you won't. Because deep down, you'll know you're better off without them. And every step you take away from their toxicity will be a step closer to the freedom you deserve. People like that, they don't deserve you. They don't deserve your loyalty, your kindness, your love. They're takers, not givers. And takers will drain you dry if you let them. But you're not gonna let them anymore, are you? No. You're going to stand up, wipe the blood off your knuckles, and show them what they lost. Because here's the thing. You're a masterpiece, kid. A one-of-a-kind work of art. And if they're too blind to see it, that's their loss, not yours. You don't need their validation. You don't need their approval. All you need is the strength to walk away and never look back. You think they'll forget you? Oh no. They'll remember you every single day. When they sit alone in the quiet, when they look for someone to fill the void you left, they'll think of you. They'll replay every moment in their heads, every laugh, every tear, every word, and they'll realize, too late, that they had something extraordinary and let it slip through their fingers. But by then, you'll be long gone. You'll be living your life, chasing your dreams, finding people who actually appreciate you for who you are. And they'll be stuck in their own misery, haunted by the memory of what they lost. That's the real punchline, kid. They'll look for you in everyone they meet, but no one else will ever compare. So stop waiting for them to see your worth. Stop begging for scraps of affection. Stop breaking yourself into pieces to fit into their messed up puzzle. You're not a piece of their story. You're the whole damn book. And if they can't see that, if they can't cherish that, then they don't deserve a single page Walk away. Walk away. And let them feel the emptiness you leave behind. Let them sit in the dark, wondering why the world suddenly feels so cold. Let them realize that the light they took for granted is gone, and it's never coming back. And when they finally see what they've lost, well, that's when the real joke begins. Because by then, you'll have already won. See, the world doesn't stop for people who treat you like a doormat. They'll move on to their next victim. They'll find someone else to string along, someone else to use. That's their nature. But here's where it gets interesting. You won't stop either. You'll move forward, but unlike them, you'll rise higher. And do you know why? Because every scar they left on you, every bruise, every ounce of pain, they forged you into something stronger. They built a version of you they'll regret losing for the rest of their miserable lives. Think about it. Every time they lied to you, every time they ignored you, every time they treated you like you didn't matter, that was them handing you bricks. And yeah, maybe they thought those bricks would crush you under the weight, but you stacked them up. You built walls to keep their poison out. You built a fortress to protect what's left of your heart. And now you stand taller than ever, and they can't even see over the walls they helped you build. That's justice, kid. Cold, cruel justice. Oh, they'll try to tear you down again, count on it. They'll call, they'll text, they'll beg, they'll promise they've changed, promise they see things clearly now. They'll tell you they're sorry, but listen to me, and listen good. They're not sorry for what they did. They're sorry for what they lost. Big difference. They're sorry they can't use you anymore. Sorry they can't feed off your strength. Sorry they've been left with nothing but their own reflection to keep them company. And you know what they see in that reflection? Failure, regret, the cracks in their mask. But you don't look back. You don't answer that call. You don't respond to that text. You don't even spare them a second of your time. Because the moment you do, they'll sink their claws into you all over again. They'll drag you back into their pit of misery and make you think it's your home. But it's not. And it never was. Your home is out there, somewhere far from their shadows, somewhere bright, somewhere peaceful, somewhere you can finally breathe without the weight of their lies pressing down on your chest. You ever wonder why people like that are so good at manipulation? It's because they're empty inside. They need to fill that emptiness with something. And you were their fuel. They fed off your kindness, your empathy, your light. But the thing about parasites is they never know when to stop. They take and take until there's nothing left. And then they wonder why everything around them withers and dies. You're not the first, and you won't be the last. But you get to be the one who escapes. You get to be the one who breaks the cycle. And here's the kicker. They'll never change. Not really. Oh, they might put on a new mask, play a new role, but deep down they'll always be the same. Empty, desperate, pathetic. And that's not your burden to carry anymore. You tried, didn't you? You gave them more chances than they deserved. You gave them your love, your time, your energy, and they threw it all away. So now, you walk away. You take everything they didn't appreciate, everything they couldn't see, and you give it to yourself instead, because you're worth it. You've always been worth it. You think they'll hate you for leaving? Maybe. But it won't be real hate. It'll be envy, disguised as anger. Envy, because you had the strength to do what they couldn't. You had the courage to break free. And that's something they'll never understand. They'll call you selfish, heartless, cold. But let them spit their venom. Let them hurl their insults. Because at the end of the day, their words are nothing but whispers in the wind. And you're a hurricane. Here's the thing about walking away. It's not just an escape. It's a statement. A declaration that you refuse to be anyone's second choice, anyone's backup plan, anyone's punching bag. Is you saying, I matter. And that's the most powerful thing you can ever say. Because when you walk away, you take back your power. You take back your dignity. You take back everything they tried to strip from you. And don't think for a second that it's going to be easy. Oh no, it's going to be a war. A war between your heart and your mind. Your heart will beg you to stay, to give them one more chance. But your mind will know better. Your mind will remind you of all the nights you cried yourself to sleep, all the times you begged for a scrap of their attention, all the ways they made you feel small. And eventually, your heart will catch up. It'll realize that love isn't supposed to hurt like that. Love isn't supposed to break you. You think you're weak for feeling this way? You're not. You're human. You're someone who gave too much to people who gave nothing in return. And now you're someone who's learning to put themselves first. That's not weakness. It's strength. That's courage. That's survival. When you walk away, it's not just about leaving them behind. It's about finding yourself again. It's about remembering who you were before they dimmed your light. It's about becoming the person you were always meant to be. And when you get there, when you finally feel free, you'll look back and realize that losing them wasn't the tragedy you thought it was. It was the best thing that ever happened to you. Walk away, kid. Walk away and don't look back. Let them sit in the emptiness they created. Let them feel the weight of your absence. Let them finally see what they've lost. And you keep walking. Because out there, somewhere, is a life that's waiting for you. A life where you're valued, where you're loved, where you're free. And when you find it, you'll laugh at the thought that you ever considered staying in their shadow. So go. Be the storm. Be the light. Be everything they never saw in you. And when they finally realize what they've lost, when they're left with nothing but regret, you'll know you made the right choice. And that, my friend, is the punchline they'll never forget. You think walking away is the end of something, don't you? That's the trick life plays on us, making endings feel like failures. But here's the joke. Walking away isn't the end. It's the beginning. The beginning of something raw, something painful, but most importantly, something real. You've been living in their world for too long, playing by their rules, following their script. It's time you wrote your own. And trust me, kid, your story doesn't need them. They were a bad chapter, a filler episode, and a masterpiece they didn't have the brains to understand. Here's a harsh truth for you. Some people only love what they can control. They don't want you. They want the version of you they can manipulate. The one who bends to their will, who says yes when every fiber of their being screams no. That's what they loved. Not you, but the puppet they made out of you. And the second you cut those strings, the second you start thinking for yourself, that love, it disappears. Because it was never real to begin with. And yeah, it's gonna tear you apart at first. You'll miss them. You'll miss the illusion of what they gave you. The warmth of their fake smiles. The comfort of their empty promises. You'll convince yourself it was better than nothing. That maybe the scraps they threw you were enough. But deep down, you'll know the truth. They weren't feeding you. They were starving you. Starving you of real love, real connection, real respect. And you've been hungry for so long, you forgot what it feels like to be full. So, now, you got a choice. You can keep starving, keep chasing crumbs from people who will never give you more. Or you can stand up, flip the table and say, no more. No more begging, no more pleading, no more accepting less than what you deserve. You can walk away, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because you're done setting yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. They'll call you selfish. They'll call you heartless. They'll try to make you feel guilty for choosing yourself. But let me tell you something. They're wrong. You can't pour from an empty cup, kid, and they drained you dry. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's survival. And survival isn't something you should ever apologize for. You think they'll miss you when you're gone? Oh, they will. But not for the reasons you think. They won't miss your laughter, your kindness, your love. No, they'll miss your usefulness. They'll miss having someone to blame when things go wrong, someone to lean on when they're weak, someone to lift them up when they're too lazy to stand on their own. That's what they'll miss. Not you, but what you did for them. And that's why you owe them nothing. But here's the thing. They'll never admit it. They'll never tell you they miss you. They'll bury it deep, hide it behind their pride, their ego. They'll pretend they're fine, that they've moved on, that you didn't matter. But late at night, when the world is quiet and there's no one left to distract them, they'll feel it. The emptiness, regret, cold gnawing realization. They pushed away the one person who truly cared. And by then, you'll be so far gone, so far ahead, that their regret won't matter anymore. Walking away isn't about revenge, kid. It's not about making them suffer, though trust me, they will. It's about freeing yourself. It's about breaking the chains they wrapped around you and learning to breathe again. It's about rediscovering who you are without their shadows looming over you. And that's gonna take time. Healing always does. But every step you take, every mile you put between you and them, will bring you closer to the person you were always meant to be. And let me tell you that person. They're unstoppable. They're fierce. They're resilient. They're unbreakable. Because they've been through hell and came out stronger. They've faced the darkness and learned to create their own light. That's who you are, even if you don't see it yet. That's who you're becoming. But it's not just about walking away from them. It's about walking towards something better. A life where you're respected, where you're valued, where you're loved for who you are, not for what you can give. A life where you don't have to fight for every scrap of affection, where you don't have to prove your worth to people who should have seen it from the start. That's the life you deserve. And it's out there, waiting for you. All you have to do is take the first step. They'll hate you for it. They'll call you names, spread lies, try to tear you down. Because people like that, they can't stand to see someone else rise. It reminds them of their own failures, their own shortcomings. But don't let their poison touch you. You're better than that. You're better than them. And deep down, they know it. So walk away. Not just from them, but from everything that's been holding you back. Walk away from the guilt, the shame, the doubt. Walk away from the version of yourself they tried to create and step into the person you were always meant to be. Walk away and don't look back. Because when you walk away, when you finally break free, that's when the real magic happens. That's when you start to see the world for what it is. Full of possibilities, full of hope, full of people who will love you for you. And when you find those people, when you build that life, you'll look back at this moment and realize it wasn't the end of something. It was the beginning. Go, kid, walk away and let them see what they've lost. Let them feel the weight of your absence, the silence where your laughter used to be, the emptiness where your love used to shine. Let them sit in their regret while you soar to heights they could never reach. When they finally see what they had, when they finally realize what they lost, it'll be too late. And that's the punchline, isn't it? That's the joke they'll never understand. Because by then, you'll have already won. You know, people like them, they don't believe in endings. They think you'll always be there, waiting, no matter how far you walk. That's their delusion. They don't think you have it in you to leave for good, to slam the door and never open it again. But that's exactly why you have to. You see, the only way they'll learn, the only way they'll feel the loss is when they wake up one day and realize the silence they hear isn't temporary. It's permanent. You're gone and you're not coming back. That's the beauty of walking away. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's quiet. It's decisive. It's a whisper that says, you don't get to hurt me anymore. And that whisper, it'll echo in their head for the rest of their miserable life. Every time they think about you, every time they see someone who reminds them of you, every time they find themselves alone, they'll hear it. A tiny, haunting whisper that says, you lost me. And it'll eat them alive. But you won't even notice. You'll be too busy living, too busy building, too busy growing into the person you've always been destined to become. You'll be creating a life so full, so rich, that the void they left behind will feel like nothing more than a forgotten scar. And scars, they don't hurt forever. They fade. They become stories, lessons, reminders of what you survived. And you'll survive this. You'll thrive. You want to know why it hurts so much right now? Because you're human. You loved them. You trusted them. You gave them pieces of yourself that you could never get back. And they threw it all away. That kind of betrayal, it cuts deep. It leaves wounds that take time to heal. But they will heal. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt. It's all part of the process. It's not weakness, it's strength. It's you fighting to reclaim your heart, your soul, your life. And here's the thing about pain. It's a teacher, a brutal one, sure, but a teacher nonetheless. It shows you what you can endure, what you can overcome. It strips you down to your core and forces you to see yourself for who you really are and who you are. You're a warrior. You're someone who has been through hell and is still standing. You're someone who has faced the fire and walked out stronger. Don't let them take that from you. Don't let them make you think for a second that you're weak or broken or unworthy. You're none of those things. You're a masterpiece in progress. And the people who can't see that, they don't deserve a front row seat to your transformation. Let them watch from the sidelines while you rise, while you soar, while you become everything they never believed you could be. You think they'll find someone else to replace you. Maybe. But replacements, they're never the same. They'll try to fill the void you left, but it won't work. Because you're not replaceable. You're unique. You're one of a kind. And no matter how many people they surround themselves with, no matter how many distractions they chase, they'll always feel that emptiness, that ache, that quiet reminder of what they lost. And you won't care. Because by the time they realize what they had, you'll have moved on to bigger, better things. You'll have found your peace, your joy, your freedom. You'll be too busy living your best life to waste even a second thinking about them. That's the ultimate victory, isn't it? Not revenge, not anger, not bitterness. Just freedom. Freedom from their lies, their games, their poison. Freedom to be yourself, to love yourself, to build a life that makes you proud. That's what you're walking towards. And every step you take, every mile you put between you and them, brings you closer to it. Don't stop. Don't look back. Let them drown in their regret while you rise above it. Let them feel the weight of your absence while you feel the lightness of your freedom. Let them realize, too late, what they had while you discover everything you've gained. Because here's the thing, they thought they broke you. They thought they could keep you down, keep you small, keep you begging for their approval. But they were wrong. They didn't break you. They woke you up. They showed you exactly what you don't need in your life, exactly what you won't tolerate anymore. They taught you what you're capable of surviving, and that's a gift they'll never understand. Walk away, kid. Walk away, and don't stop until you've built a life so beautiful, so full, that Their absence feels like a blessing. Walk away and let them sit in their regret while you bask in your triumph. Walk away and show them what real strength looks like. And when they finally realize what they lost, when they finally see the masterpiece they threw away, it'll be too late. Because you'll be gone. And that's the punchline they'll never laugh at. That's the joke they'll never get. That's the justice they'll never escape. Let them see. Let them feel. Let them live with what they've lost. And you live with what you've gained. Freedom, strength, and a future that's brighter than they ever imagined. That's the real joke, isn't it? They thought they were breaking you, but all they did was set you free. You know what's really twisted? They're going to tell themselves a story about you. Oh yeah, they're going to rewrite the whole thing in their heads. Paint themselves as the victim and you as the villain. You walked away, they'll say. You abandoned me, they'll cry. They'll never admit what they did to push you to the edge. Never admit how they drained you, piece by piece, until you had nothing left to give. No, in their version of the story, you're the monster, and they're the poor, helpless victim. And you know what? Let them spin their lies. Let them scream into the void. Because the truth doesn't need to be shouted. It doesn't need to be explained. The truth just is. It sits there, quiet, unshakable, undeniable. And deep down, they'll know it. No matter how many lies they tell, no matter how many people they try to convince, there will always be that voice in the back of their mind, whispering, you did this. You drove them away. But you don't waste your breath trying to defend yourself. You don't lower yourself to their level. You let your absence speak for you. You let your silence be louder than any words. Because the truth is, the moment you walked away, you won. The moment you stopped caring about their opinion, about their version of the story, you set yourself free. And freedom? That's something they'll never have. Oh, they'll try to replace you. Of course, they will. People like them always do. They'll find someone new to feed their ego, someone new to fill the void. But here's the thing, they'll never find another you. Sure, they'll find people who can give them pieces of what you gave, but they'll never find the whole package. They'll never find someone who sees them the way you did, who loves them the way you did, who forgives them the way you did. And that realization, that's what will haunt them. Because every time they look at someone new, they'll see the cracks. They'll see all the ways that person doesn't measure up. all the ways they fall short of what you were. And it'll drive them mad. They'll keep chasing, keep searching, keep trying to fill the void you left. And they'll fail. Over and over again, they'll fail. And you'll be long gone, building a life so full, so beautiful, that their struggles won't even register on your radar. But here's the kicker. They're not going to tell anyone how much they miss you. Oh no, they're too proud for that. They'll act like they're fine, like losing you didn't matter, like they're happier without you. But late at night, when they're alone, when the world is quiet, that's when the truth will hit them. That's when the regret will creep in, wrapping itself around them like a vice. And they'll realize too late that they let the best thing in their life slip through their fingers. And you'll be asleep peacefully, miles away, completely unaware of their misery. Because by then, you'll have moved on. By then, their regret will mean nothing to you. By then, you'll have realized that walking away wasn't just the right thing to do, it was the best thing to do. You think walking away makes you weak? It doesn't. It makes you brave. It takes strength to let go, strength to choose yourself, strength to walk away from the people who keep tearing you down. Anyone can stay. Anyone can cling to the familiar, no matter how toxic it is. But it takes real courage to say, enough. I deserve better. And you do, kid. You deserve so much better. You deserve people who see your worth without you having to prove it. People who love you without conditions, without games, without strings attached. People who make you feel safe and seen and valued. And those people, they're out there. They're waiting for you. But you'll never find them if you keep holding on to the ones who don't deserve you. So let them go. Let them sit in their regret. Let them drown in the silence you leave behind. And you walk forward, one step at a time, one day at a time, until you're so far ahead, so far beyond them, that the person you used to be feels like a distant memory. Because here's the truth, they'll never understand. Walking away isn't about them. It's not about punishing them or hurting them or making them regret what they did. Walking away is about you. It's about reclaiming your power, your life, your peace. It's about choosing yourself for once after all the times you put them first. And that's the most powerful thing you can ever do. So go, walk away, and don't stop until you've built a life so incredible, so full of love and joy and freedom that their absence feels like a blessing. Walk away and let them feel the weight of your absence. The silence where your laughter used to be. the emptiness where your love used to shine. Walk away and let them realize, too late, what they lost. And when they finally do, when the regret eats them alive, when the silence becomes unbearable, when they look for you in everyone they meet but never find anyone who compares, that's when you'll know you've won. Because they thought they could break you. They thought they could keep you down. But all they did was show you how strong you really are. All they did was set you free. And that's the punchline, kid. That's the joke they'll never get. That's the justice they'll never escape. So go. Walk away. And never, ever look back. You're stronger than they think. Stronger than you think. Don't let them convince you otherwise. Now go, and make them regret ever underestimating you.